I've been tasked to speak on the tribe of Judah. um, I'm gonna be for y'all long, not just playing. Just before I get started, uh, just something that you need to think about as I'm going through the teaching is in your own, because I'm gonna characterize it the way it impacts me, but think about the way it impacts yourself. How does the characteristics of Judah impact the building of the altar of fire? And how does it ignite the altar of fire? So those are two questions you need to be asking yourself as I'm trying to go through this. Um, so, of course, people already always refer Judah. You think about Judah, what's the first thing you think about? Music, right? Praise, worship, that type of thing, right? So in my teaching, I learned that Judah actually has several derivatives that has come from. So, of course, it is often the first thing is praise, but it does not mean to give praise. It actually means to receive that praise. You catch that. So think about it as it's not our praise that we're giving up to God. It's actually God giving us praise. Ain't that good that God can give us praise sometimes? So if put it in your home site is your child that you love so much, you adore so much, you want to have everything in this world you can give to them. They out there playing sports. What we doing? We cheering them on. We praising them. They get good grades. That's a great job, son. I'm praising you. You do something good, that's praise. Now, it's the thing that when we go into worshiping them is when we lose it. You're not the worship man, but you can praise man for the good things that they do. The worship belongs to God. Y'all hear that? So there's nothing wrong with you, you know what I mean, praising your child for doing good, or because whether you believe it or not, in a sense, you are the first example of God that child sees. So how you love on them, how you treat them is the way that God loves you and treats you. The gifts that you give to them is provided to you from God that you can provide for them. So they look to you, hey, I need them new Jordans. I know my mama got this money for me. And you sitting there like, boy, I got to pay this bill, but guess what? God made a way for you to do what? Get them Jordans for that kid. So, and the thing is, in this, when we're giving praise, that's the Lord saying, well done to you, oh faithful servant. That's well done. That's what we want to hear from God. And the only person I can think of, that we all think of, is David, right? Think of David dancing before the Lord, he praised and all this. So I'm going to give it in my own sight of building this fire. So back in the day, we had this old wood stove down in Grandma's den. And Grandma would say, we got to get some kindling. Y'all know what that is? Yeah, I know y'all young folks don't know what kindling is. But I'm going to tell you, one of the best wood choppers we ever seen, right here in this building, my sister can testify, all you had to do was ignite his fire. Brother D. Grandma knew how to ignite D's fire. I'm telling you. Now, we all lived in the house together, wouldn't see D all day long, unless he was coming to the bathroom or to the kitchen. He was in his room. You didn't bother him, because if you did, you might have to deal with something. That's for me. You know, he ain't going to mess with Crystal, but he going to mess with me. So, Grandma, D, you need to go out there and chop that wood. One time. D, you need to go out there and chop that wood. 2 times. Don't tell him again, Dorothy. That's Granddaddy chopping in. So finally, D get out there. And I'm telling you, man, to sit and watch the boy, he mad now. He hot. And that's one thing. He's so nice, calm, and collected. Y'all know him like this. I know him is putting a knot on my head, jabbing me up in the corner. Go on somewhere, Jarmaal. I ain't gonna tell you no more. And I'm talking about with one whack. You know, you got your axe and your maul, and you got that splitter you got to put in there. That boy tap that thing in there, pat, 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 pat. Split right there. Grandma said, leave him alone. He doing what I want him to do. Huh? So you got to get that kindling and light your fire. So as the Bible says, that David had his brothers, and they were all down in the battle. They left David behind to tend to his flock of sheep. He's the baby boy. Parents always, you're going to protect the baby. So David ain't paying no attention. All of them, they going over to the battle. They're with Saul, going against the Philistines. And everybody is terrified. They got this big guy down here named Goliath. We all had a Goliath in our life. From a childhood stage, you might have had that bully that you didn't want to deal with. Or everybody knew that this joker right here was bad. You got that dude that's on the football team that was all pro everything. You can't stop him. Or basketball, or whatever. I'm saying this stuff so they're related to you in your real life that we go through, okay? This ain't in the Bible, but it's relative to it. So if you think about it, David didn't have a care in the world at that time. Because all he had to do was make sure he stayed home, did his chores, and watched that flock of sheep. But during that time, he had a lot of free time as well. Because, all you got to do is make sure that the sheep don't go, the wolves don't get them, a lion or a bear. And that man did fight a lion, a bear, all that, to recover his flock of sheep. So whether or not he was with his older brothers, as I have done, I watched my older brother. And I learned what and what not to do off of his whoopings. So even though I got plenty more than he did, I don't know. But I learned a little bit. So the tribe of Judah is also referred to as the stone throwers. Okay? So as the tribe of Judah is a stone thrower, we were the ones that after the verdict was given, we went through with, the death penalty. However you felt. That's what we did. We was the executioner. Okay? So, it's a bad thing, and it's a good thing, because you don't want to be there getting the throne stone. I don't want to be there. But in Hebrew, the name Judah actually means to throw or to cast stones, to stretch forth the hand as one would throw, to take the sling and throw the stone. So we know David been out there practicing, out there with them sheep, they over there, skipping rocks in the water, getting his craft right. He don't even know what he doing it for. It's just fun. We're just throwing rocks like we used to do, skip rocks. So fast forward, they're in the battle. And like I said, everybody's terrified of Goliath. What are we going to do? Saul is like, who going to beat this? Goliath's so bold. He said, just pick one. Anybody. Any one of y'all over there. Come step to me. I'm going to drop you. This is my turn, you know me. You already know. Before you get to me, red going to get you anyway. So just, at this time, like I said, all his brothers are in the battle. They left him behind. His father, Jesse, says, David, why don't you go and take your brethren some bread, some water, refreshing. So David gets him out of tent to his flock, and he goes on. Like I said, he ain't got a care in the world. I'm just going to bring them some food. I'm going to get back to the house. Jump on my PS4, play some games. You know what I'm saying? So as he gets there, it jumps into where they're trying to figure out which man of all of them is going to go down there. Who's going to be the man to step up to Goliath? So in 1 Samuel 17, it says, and the Philistines gathered together their armies to battle, and were gathered together at, don't mess me up, Shokah, which belongeth to Judah. So they already own Judah's land. You just stepped in on my territory. Okay? And it said, and pitched between Shaka and Azekah. And I ain't going to try this last word, Ephesedamin. Something like that. So Saul and the men of Israel are there, like I said, they battling, they fighting. But it's come down to one of my favorite movies. It's time for Achilles to come on out. Y'all know about that movie? Huh? Troy? That was my junk. Achilles was my boy. I ain't gonna lie. So David shows up, and he's looking at his brothers, and they up there, they shook, they scared. They scared. And Saul he done put the demand out. We got this man over here. Which one of y'all gonna step up to him? Because Saul won't gonna do it. He gonna put whoever in front, out there before he ever see a knife or sword or anything. He ain't gonna see the battle. So 3 of the eldest sons, like I said, they were already there. And as David rose up that morning and he went to his brothers as his father instructed, and all of the men of Israel kept saying, have you seen this man that y'all trying to tell me to go fight? Now, that's that fire right there, because it's dwindling out. Their fire already gone. It's about being in the proper place and the improper place. See, when Judah is in its proper place, everything rolls together. Everything coordinates smoothly. But when the ecclesia is out of place, we need the ecclesia too. But when it's out of place, you're hiding behind that rock. So things not going to go so smoothly. You might see sometime praise and worship dragging. It ain't necessarily me or the team, but it's just not there. We can sing as hard as we want to, sound as good as we want, but just not there. But when we're all aligned together on one accord, praise and worship flows so smoothly and everybody else is just receptive to it. That means that we are in our proper place. Okay? So I'm going to skip down. I'm not going to read all of it. But this is where it turned out to me a little bit in 1 Samuel. And I'm at verse 33. I'm going to start there. He said, and Saul said to David, thou art not able to go against this Philistine to fight with him, for you are only a youth. You're a boy. It's a grown man. We tell these boys, I'm a grown man, dog. Don't you be stepping to me like that. Deuce know. I check him any day. Okay, how tall he get. But and to skip down to 34, David said to Saul, I'm the servant that kept my father's sheep. And there came a lion and a bear and took a lamb out of my flock. What'd I do? I went and got mine. So he trying to tell you, you looking at me as this little boy, but this little boy ain't scared. All your men that you got up here with this armor, these swords, shields, all this, they ready to run back home. Here I am, this little boy. Brought y'all some food. I ain't scared. So they gave David all the armor he needed. But like he said, he's a little boy. He couldn't carry that stuff. It was going to mess him up. So he said, no, I don't need it. He said, I'm not even worthy of carrying this armor that you have given me. He said, all I need is what I brought with me. All I need is what I got. But they're looking at this little boy. They're not looking inside of what that little boy got. So even as he went to Goliath, and Goliath, of course, he laughed at him like, this is who y'all sent to fight me? Out of all of the people in Israel, this is this little boy. Y'all brought him to step to me. So right there, the normal person would have said, man, you right. I'm about to go on home. I ain't messing with this joker. But David said, I'm about to show you today who my God is. And he never even called Goliath by name. He said, there's been too much respect. Didn't even call him by name. He said, uncircumcised Philistine, who are you to talk to me? Huh? So as David gathered the stones and whatnot, the battle goes down. And we know how it ended. David cast a stone, rocked him. Goliath lay there on the ground. Now, what the Bible don't tell you, Goliath had other brothers. He still had 4 stones left. He only used one and won that battle. Now, he did something, like I said, his brothers was too afraid to do. But right then and there, whether he knew it or not, what Goliath didn't see, why that young boy was so confident, that he didn't need the Israelites' army behind him, because he had a bigger army than anybody else could suffice. He had the Father, he had the Son, and he had the Holy Spirit standing right behind him. So he already knew that whatever was about to go down, his God had his back, and he could not fail. The battle is already won. Isn't that what we say? The victory is ours because the battle is already won. All right, so he ignited their fire because he stepped up to the plate. So now Israel is confident that we're going to take over this land. We are not worried about anything else that's going to happen to us. Okay? So for me, if I'm here, I'm thinking like this. And Prophet gave me a word some years ago that in any situation you go through, your praise is going to get you through. Your worship is going to get you through. You got to go to what you know, what you can translate. I'm not going to sit there and try to quote the scriptures in the Bible, and I got the enemy in front of me, and I can't remember them. That's not my strong suit. I'm going to tell you straight up. Roy, I can take him down the street, and I say, man, I need Psalms 41:11, even though we all know it. But brother going to get it. And give me Revelations. I think it goes something like this, Jay. Are you with me? Do you understand? Hey, listen. So, and I'm about to wrap. I'm really about to wrap it up. So the fire is ignited there because the army, the morale is up. When your morale is down, you ain't got no fire. You got to add a little more. Get that, you know how grandma get that wood stove, get that thing start jiggling in there, get them ashes out of there. Fire go on up. Get to work, get that dry wood, then you throw that green wood on there to make it last a little longer. So we get to what we say, the Lion of Judah. Everybody knows the Lion of Judah. Jesus is the Lion of Judah. And in those battles, it is for us to roar even louder, but as well, we can't forget about the ecclesia. They got to roar just as loud as Judah does. Those two work together. When one is out of line, the other one got to pick the other one up, keep it moving. All right? So, Jesus, the driver, the son of David, the tribe of the stone throwers. And one of Judah's responsibilities, like I said, was to be the ones who stone condemned people. And do you know these crazy folk, knowing that Jesus was a part of this tribe, tried to use that against him? Huh? They tried to use Jesus being a part of this tribe. We said, you know what? We're going to condemn you and have your own people throw stones at you. But you knew that couldn't happen. That won't going to happen. You ain't going to turn my folk against me. My Father is the creator. He ain't going to let that happen. Okay? So even all of that, when he could have thrown the wrath down, he was more of a redemption. You know, he's that Father says, I forgive you. I'm not gonna hurt you. Even though you know you're wrong, I ain't gonna condemn you right now. I'm gonna let it slide. He gave us mercy. So the thing about it is, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, like I said, it must roar, and the ecclesia must roar louder than ever before. Because when Judah goes first, every enemy of God will come down. You know, I can imagine, like I said, going back to David, and his prophet said, if it was me, I'm sitting there and I'm shaking my rock and I'm saying, blessed be the Lord, my rock, who trained my hands for war and my fingers for battle. They like, man, this dude's singing. That's all right, I'm singing my song. And guess what? I'm about to go down here and crack this dude. And I can only imagine that they was laughing at him like this little boy about to get killed in front of us. But as he was singing that song, his confidence was building up. And he said, this is how I fight my battles. This is how I fight my battles. He was walking on down there through all them men. Because think about it, thousands of men there. He walking through the crowd with his stones. That's all you got, boy? It may look like I'm surrounded, but I'm surrounded by you. Let me get this rock right here. It may look like whole time building up his own confidence, getting his fire right. It didn't matter about nobody else's fire. So what I'm trying to tell you, when we're in here praise and worship, it ain't about that fire on that stage. We got to get our own praise and worship. You got to get your own praise and worship in. It's your individual. We singing for you, but we ain't putting on no concert. We're ministering. It's for us to get our own. Some songs we can't finish because we are ministering to ourselves. If you don't get it and you don't come along, whose fault is that? Your own. You have to ignite your own fire. You have to figure out what it is for you that ignites your fire. We give you examples to use, but it's for you to take that and use it to your advantage. You got the biggest sword that you can walk around, and you can take it on your phone, the Bible. That's the stone that we throw to our people out here in this world. We use our Bible, the word that we can always go to. And the word is who? Jesus. So don't think about, I'm not worthy to ignite this fire. Don't think about, I don't know enough to ignite this fire. Think about, how can I ignite this fire? Think about, when am I going to ignite this fire? And make it purposeful. When you do it with a purpose that you know without a shadow of a doubt that my God and no one else is going to bring me out through this fire. And he's going to meet you there every time. So when you start that fire and it dwindle down just a little bit and you think it ain't going to go, blow a little air on it. And God going to come through and drop that igniter fluid for you. Boom! There go your fire.